Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tell Your Story. I'm your host, Todd Nesloni, and each episode I look to bring you a different guest who has encouraged, inspired, or challenged me in one way or another and bring them on to share some of their story in hopes that it inspires you to tell some of yours. I'm so excited today to talk with Mohamed Metwaly. Mohamed, tell everybody kind of who you are.
Thank you, Todd, for having me today as your guest. It's my honor for sure. This is Mohamed Metwaly. I'm an English teacher, an EFL teacher. I also a teacher educator and coordinator at the NTTB program with the British Council. I'm also a mentor at the RELU program and the founder of, director of RELU English Community Hub. In fact, I have another partner who founded this page with me. He's Mr. Mohammed Faiz.
Awesome.
So it's for all.
Well, Mohamed, I'd love to start back kind of just at the beginning. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you know it was going to be an educator?
I can question. So when I was a kid, I just played the role of a teacher. I like to be a teacher from the very first beginning. As I have another person in my family which is in the field of education, which is my mother. So I love to be a teacher from the very first beginning.
I love it. And so, when you decided that you were going to teach, when did you know, like, what age kid you wanted to work with?
When I finished my high school, I decided that I'm going to teach the elementary stage. So I joined the Faculty of Education, the elementary stage in my hometown. And I started my career after finishing the college immediately.
So, you are currently living in Egypt, right?
Yes.
And so is that where you grew up as well?
Sorry, again, I didn't catch that, Todd.
Let me see. Is that where you grew up as well, was in Egypt?
Yes, I grew up in Egypt and I didn't go abroad. I'm in Egypt. I born in Egypt and I'm still living in Egypt.
Awesome. And so, at some point, though, you decide to start the RECH. Where did that come from?
It came from a program that I joined, which is the RELU Cairo Mentors program. And it's offered by the U.S. Embassy here in Egypt. And it's a kind of a volunteer work that I have to do. So I joined the program after the selection from different teachers inside Egypt. And I have started working just like 3 or 4 months before that time in founding this page. So I'm about 4 or 5 months working this, and before that, Todd, I have been working as volunteer teacher and educator with the British Council for 1.5 years now.
Oh wow!
So
Go ahead.
Okay, so the idea came from the working voluntarily inside Egypt is a great work. You see, you can give hand to other teachers, help them, inspire them, and I feel passionate about inspiring other teachers and helping them, giving a hand. I think it's a kind of feeling that you are on the moon while you do this.
And so what has been your favorite part of being a part of RECH? What have you enjoyed the most?
I enjoyed for sure inviting other people, other educators to share their own ideas, and also for me to be giving hand to other teachers or helping other teachers by creating sessions and webinars, directing the webinars. And when you share knowledge, you see our slogan: share, educate, elevate. So when you share knowledge, you get the education to spread the education to other people, and you can elevate. You can raise their mentalities, raise their knowledge, and so on. So I think it's my passion to work as an educator with other teachers.
So, I know you speak multiple languages. How many languages do you speak?
I think three languages.
And so when you're growing up and you're in school, do you learn all those languages in school?
Yes, in fact, my mother tongue is Arabic, so I'm a native Arabic speaker. I studied English and French in the high school, so they are the three languages I speak.
And so which one have you found the most difficult to learn?
The most difficult, no, I find them all. They are all alike. They are, Todd, when you find a good teacher who teaches you something, and the teacher gets you to love his subject, you kind of you are going to work very hard to prove that you are good in this subject. And I think I love my English teacher when I'm in the elementary stage and the middle stage and in the high school also. They are all very good teachers, and I also liked my French teacher, Mr. Ahmed Barakat. I just like him till now, and I have connection with him till now. And you find it that ease when you love your teacher, you love the subject that he taught you.
Yeah, and that's total. I can completely see that, not only from a kid perspective, but just as adults too. When you like the person you're learning from, it's so much easier to learn the content. And so, as you know, Mohammed, almost 90% of my viewership is from the United States. And so, being someone who grew up in Egypt, I'd love to ask some questions about that. And so, the first thing is, what is one of your favorite foods to eat?
Okay, that's a great question indeed. My favorite food here in Egypt is called mahshi. I don't think what is called in other countries, but it's a kind of cabbage and some rice with other flavors inside the cabbage. And I think it's my favorite here in Egypt.
And so, what do you like to do in your free time whenever you're not teaching or working with RECH? What do you like to do?
Okay, for me, my passion was in my free time, or my hobbies in my free time, just surfing the internet, playing video games, and also you kind of like I don't think I don't know what is its name, but you can find I can call it. Like I didn't get the word for that thought, but one of my hobbies is having some online courses, which is for continuous professional development. So it is not working with Rick or something like that, but I love to continue my professional development and having online courses. And here in Egypt, you will find a lot of online free courses you can join.
Mohammed, I know that people all around the world have been very aware of the happenings right now in the United States, especially dealing with racism and discrimination and things like that. Growing up in a foreign country like you have, I wonder, do you find that you yourself have faced different racism or any of that, being in Egypt? Or is that, or have you not really seen that yourself? I just love to hear from the perspective of somebody dealing with discrimination in some form from a different country.
For sure, Todd. For me, I don't have any experiences with discrimination here in Egypt. As you will find us all here in Egypt, I think the same people or speaking the same language. So there's no discrimination here in Egypt, but you can find some kind of when you find a foreigner person here in Egypt, the Egyptian like to deal with him or speak with him, and there's a kind of welcoming the other person. But for me and for the Egyptians, I think there is no discrimination here in Egypt, and we are all equal on the same ground.
Right. Well, looking at your own life, Mohammed, and seeing all the things you've been through, the happy, the sad, the struggles, the success, what is one thing you look back on in your life and you think that played a really big part into creating the Mohammed we see today?
Okay, Todd. One thing back from my life that it changed me or something like that, I think the opportunity that I have with the NTTP program with the British Council. The NTTP stands for the National Teacher Training Program, and it's one turning point in my life that I changed myself from a teacher to an educator. From one who works with the students only to one educator which is working with other colleagues or giving lectures or giving webinars and seminars and something like that. I think it's one turning point in my life, and I have a great network for with my colleagues with this program. And also with the latest program that I have involved in, which is Relo Mentor Program. So if you have found some community which is supporting you, I think it's a good opportunity for you to do your best.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is my answer to this question.
I love that. So, thinking of this group that you connected with, did they find you or did you go and find them?
Sorry, Todd, there's a delay in the sound. I can't get the last question, please. Would you repeat it?
So when you found this British Council, did they find you or did you find them?
Didn't get the last word. When you found the British Council, I did get the last word.
Yeah, this is the joys of technology when working from one side of the planet to the other. So I'm just wondering,
Yes.
you talk about the British Council, and I wonder, did you know about them already, or did they come and find you?
No, the British Council is and the U.S. Embassy here in Egypt, the culture affairs in the U.S. Embassy. I think they are all great organizations that is known all over Egypt here. And for me, I found the opportunity with the British Council at first on the internet, and I just fill in the form, and they follow the steps and the procedures of choices, and they have just called me and make like a quick conversation on the phone and to select. And then I started working with them. They trained us for 1 year, and we started our voluntary work after 6 months of the training. And we still, inshallah, in the second year, inshallah, we are going to complete this voluntary work for another year with also the Relo English Community Hub, or the Relo Regional English Language Office here in Egypt. Also, I'm going to complete another year with him, inshallah.
So, I love listening to these experiences you've had. And so I wonder, Mohammed, what is a big goal of yours that you have moving forward?
There's a delay, Todd, please, again.
No, you're fine. So what's a goal that you have for yourself? What do you dream is a dream of yours moving forward?
Okay. Yes, okay. For me, these days, Todd, I have a big dream of reaching with my Relo English Community Hub worldwide. I think we have here in Egypt some organizations that work voluntary, and I want to spread the knowledge to other teachers here in Egypt and across the nations also. So I hope that I can reach the majority of teachers worldwide with our page, inshallah.
I love that. That's a great goal. Well, Mohamed, I was so excited to get to talk to you today. I know we have interacted quite a bit on social media. So thank you for coming on Tell Your Story and sharing some of your story today. The last question I want to end with, though, is you knowing that people, especially all across the United States, are listening right now. If they were to walk away with one thing from today's conversation, what is one thing you hope they leave with?
Okay, Todd. Okay, the one thing that I would like to add is it's a quote from Thomas Monson, and he is an American religious man, which is called "We can't direct the wind, but we can adjust the sail." So each one of us, if he could adjust his circumstances around him, he would be give benefit and benefit the others. And if you find a supportive community, it's a very important part. If you find a supportive community to share the same ideas, the same perspectives, like the ones that you have in your mind, I think it will be a good opportunity to spread equity, and there will not be no racism will be found, inshallah, if each one accepted the others like whatever he is.
I love that. Well, Mohamed, you are doing great work. So thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me today.
Thank you very much, Todd, for having me with you today. That's my great pleasure. Thank you very much.
And thank you, everybody, for listening or watching another episode of Tell Your Story. Remember, you can check out past episodes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever you get it, it's there. I hope today's conversation with Mohamed has encouraged you to get out there and tell your story, because every story matters.